It was just a normal day in the office, as I continued to work on my computer, until a knock was heard on the door. My wife Clara walked into my office, holding a plate with chicken tenders, waffle fries, and chocolate-covered toast, along with some fruits, as I look up from my laptop and give her a warm smile, feeling grateful to have her by my side. I gently take the plate of food from Clara's hands, appreciating her thoughtfulness and care. "Thank you, Clara," I say, my voice filled with warmth and affection. "You know me too well." I feel a blush creep on my cheeks as Clara kisses me on the cheek. I can't help but feel a rush of warmth and love for her. I watch her leave, feeling grateful for her presence in my life. I begin to savor the flavors of the food Clara has prepared. The chicken tenders are juicy and tender, the waffle fries crispy and well-seasoned, and the chocolate-covered toast is a perfect balance of sweetness and crunch. The fruits add a fresh and healthy touch to the meal. I relish every bite, feeling grateful for Clara's care and attention. As I eat, my thoughts drift back to the day I married Clara. It was a warm summer's day, and the church was filled with the scent of fresh flowers and the soft murmur of friends and family. Clara looked stunning in her white dress, her brown hair cascading down her shoulders in soft waves. The ceremony was beautiful, and I remember the way our eyes met as I said my vows, feeling a deep sense of love and connection. My thoughts shift to the moment I proposed to Clara. It was a picturesque evening, and we were walking in the park, the sun setting in the background, casting a warm glow across the sky. I had planned a romantic picnic dinner, and as we sat down to eat, I got down on one knee and asked Clara to marry me. Her face lit up with joy and surprise, and she said yes without hesitation. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. As I reflect further, my thoughts turn to our 3 children, Michael, Chris, and Elizabeth. I think about watching them grow up, from their first steps to their first words. I remember the pride I felt when they achieved their first milestones, the love I felt for them when they were sick, and the joy I felt when they succeeded in their endeavors. I know that Clara and I have had our share of challenges, but seeing our children thrive makes everything worth it. As I reflect on these memories, the darkness of the past starts to creep in. I recall the bitter argument I had with Clara, which led her to take that fateful drive. The image of her car going off the cliff replays in my mind, and the grief and guilt I felt after her passing still weighs heavily on my heart. Then, there's the terrible accident at Fredbear's family diner, when Chris died in the hands of Fredbear, his head crushed by the animatronic's teeth, leaving Michael devastated with guilt and regret. As I ruminate on this time period, memories of my own actions come flooding back to me. I recall how I had lost control of my anger and taken my grief out on Michael, blaming and shouting at him after the accident at Fredbear's. The look of pain and confusion on his face is etched in my memory, and I feel a wave of remorse and guilt for my behavior. I know that my actions only added to his grief and pain. As I reflect on my own actions, I remember my hatred for abuse growing up. Growing up, I had encountered stories of abusive parents and spouses, and it stirred within me a deep sense of disgust and revulsion. I had always vowed to never become like them, to never subject my children to such mistreatment. Yet in my moment of despair and grief, I had let my emotions get the better of me, and I had become the very thing I had sworn to protect my family from. As I recall my education on abuse during my high school days, I remember the lessons and conversations I had with my parents. My father, Oliver, and mother, Michelle, were very outspoken about their disapproval of any form of abuse. They had taught me the importance of respect and care for others, and had instilled in me a deep sense of righteousness and justice. They had made it clear that abuse was never justified, and that it was always unacceptable, no matter the circumstances. My reflections continue to darken as I recall the tragic consequences of my descent into madness. In my grief and bitterness, I had opened Circus Baby's Pizza World, and in my twisted state, I had programmed Circus Baby to kill any child who came too close to her. This tragedy not only shattered what was left of my humanity, but also led to the death of my own daughter, Elizabeth. The guilt and insanity gnawed at my soul, driving me further down a path of darkness. I realize now that my actions have brought nothing but grief and despair to those around me and myself. Upon further reflection, I recall how my descent into madness led me to turn to alcohol as a means of coping. In reality, I have always been averse to alcohol consumption, recognizing the potential harm and destruction it can bring. However, in my deep despair and insanity, I became susceptible to its harmful effects. I remember numbing myself with excessive drinking, leading to outbursts of anger and irrational behavior. Looking back, I regret succumbing to this unhealthy crutch and causing further pain to those around me. With a heavy heart, I also recall the tragic consequences of my descent into alcoholism, drunkenness, anger, and insanity. I remember my decision to visit Henry's daughter, Charlie, at the restaurant one fateful night. Consumed by the darkness within, I had crossed a line that I had never imagined I would cross. Although I had always valued Henry's friendship and respected his family, in my drunken state, I had killed Charlie, leaving behind a trail of sorrow and pain. Looking back, I regret that I let my emotions control me and caused such pain to someone dear to my longtime friend. As my memories continue to unfold, the image of that day at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza comes to mind. I remember the moment when I had donned the spring Bonnie suit and lured 5 innocent children, Gabriel, Jeremy, Susie, Fritz, and Cassidy, to the back room with the false promise of something special. In that dark and hidden space, I ended their young lives and stuffed their bodies into the animatronics. The weight of that act hangs heavily on me, and I regret thee. Looking back, I recall the moment when Charlie's spirit took possession of the marionette and gave life to the souls of the missing children. As each soul found its animatronic form, I watched as Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy came to life. The most notable among them was Cassidy, whose anger and vengeance were palpable. She haunted my nightmares, manifesting as Golden Freddy, and inflicted a torment upon me that surpassed what the others had unleashed. Reflecting further, I remember the opening of the Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex in 2023, and my own resurrection as the animatronic known as Burn Trap. I recall how I manipulated Vanessa's sister Vanny to put on the rabbit suit, turning her into a dark and twisted version of herself. My goal was to have her eliminate Gregory, who has been living among the glam rock animatronics. Looking back, I see how my villainous actions had only brought further darkness and despair to those around me. With a sense of profound gratitude and humility, I recall the presence of Avatar Thanos, the godlike superhero who arrived to confront my madness. I remember how Avatar Thanos extended his divine power to not only resurrect my family, but also provide me with mental health treatment, which helped me overcome my darkest days. His intervention not only brought my loved ones back to me, but also gave me the chance to repent and seek redemption. I also recall the incredible gift Avatar Thanos bestowed upon me, the power to bring back the lives of the innocent children I had taken, including Charlie. I remember the overwhelming gratitude and joy I felt at this opportunity. Avatar Thanos had given me a chance to atone for my past actions and offer a measure of justice to those whose lives I had mercilessly snatched away. Another moment of joy and relief that I recollect is Henry's forgiveness after resurrecting Charlie. I remember the weight that lifted from my shoulders when Henry, in his mercy and understanding, forgave me for my transgressions. It felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted from my soul, and I felt a sense of genuine hope that I could make amends and rebuild the trust that I had shattered. Looking back, I feel profound gratitude for the gift of immortality that Avatar Thanos graciously extended to me, my family, Henry, and Charlie. That gift has allowed us to live happily together, free from the spectre of death that had so cruelly taken some of our loved ones away. Avatar Thanos' kindness has given us the chance to cherish each other's presence and forge new, joyful memories together, without the fear of losing anyone again. Additionally, I am gladdened by the blossoming relationships amongst my family members. Michael's high school sweetheart, Nora, has clearly found happiness in their bond, and it warms my heart to see them thrive together. Elizabeth's connection with Gregory is filled with youthful passion and promise, and seeing them grow and learn from each other is truly delightful. Chris and Charlie's budding romance also fills me with joy, as I know they bring out the best in each other and create a strong, loving partnership. As I finish the meal Clara had prepared for me, a sense of contentment washes over me. The flavors and textures of the food have filled me with warmth and satisfaction. I can't help but smile as I reflect on the love and effort Clara put into preparing this meal. In this moment, I am grateful for the simple joys of life, the nourishment my body and soul receive, and the presence of Clara in my world. I sink into the comfortable embrace of the chair, my body relaxing as the peacefulness of the moment sinks in. The worries and anxieties that had plagued me fade into the background, replaced by a sense of contentment and gratitude. I close my eyes and savor the quiet, enjoying the simple pleasure of being alive and surrounded by those I love. In this moment, all is well, and the shadows of the past linger only in the recesses of my mind, overshadowed by the light of my present happiness. As I sit back and reflect, I realize that I have been devoting most of my time to work recently. My duties and responsibilities have consumed a great deal of my attention and energy. This realization causes me to pause and consider the balance between my professional life and spending quality time with my friends and family. A newfound sense of determination wells up within me, the desire to prioritize the people who truly matter and make sure that I'm present to cherish every moment with them. As I contemplate ways to spend more time with my family and friends, the idea of a train ride vacation comes to mind. The image of journeying through scenic landscapes, surrounded by loved ones, fills my thoughts. I picture Henry and Charlie joining us, along with Nora and Gregory, who share Gregory's passion for trains and would undoubtedly enjoy the trip. Memories of Gregory playing with Chris's toy train set flood my mind, reinforcing the feeling that this vacation would be a wonderful opportunity for us all to bond and create new memories together. With my mind made up, I decide wholeheartedly to go through with the plan. Eagerly, I begin to make preparations for the vacation, mapping out the routes, booking the train tickets, and notifying my family and friends about the upcoming journey. The excitement builds within me with each step, and I anticipate the joyous moments that await us as we embark on this adventure together. With the decision made to proceed with the vacation plan, I shift my focus back to my computer. I take a deep breath and turn my attention to the remaining work that demands my attention. My fingers glide over the keyboard as I diligently complete the necessary paperwork, ensuring that everything is in order before I can fully immerse myself in the anticipation of tomorrow's journey. After completing my paperwork, I rise from my chair with a newfound sense of purpose. Eager to enlist Henry's participation in our upcoming vacation, I step away from my desk and venture out to find Henry. My mind is filled with excitement at the prospect of sharing this adventure with him, and I look forward to his enthusiastic response. I walk through the corridors, my steps purposeful and determined, as I search for my longtime friend, Henry. I enter the parts and service room and spot Henry diligently assisting an employee. A warm smile spreads across my face as I approach my friend, who is so dedicated to his work. I wait a moment, not wanting to interrupt his current focus, and observe the dedication and care he brings to the task at hand. After a few moments, I politely address him. "Henry, may I speak with you for a moment?" Henry looks up as he hears my voice, and his expression lights up with warmth and fondness upon seeing me. He finishes up his assistance to the employee and turns to me, his attention fully on me. "Of course, William," he replies, his voice filled with genuine enthusiasm. "What can I do for you?" I gesture for us to step to the side, away from the hustle and noise of the room, where we can have a private conversation. Once we're secluded, I begin to explain the plan for our upcoming train ride vacation. "Henry," I say, excitement coloring my voice, "I was thinking about how we could spend some quality time together as a group, as families. I thought it would be nice to take a train ride vacation. I've already planned everything, the routes, tickets, and accommodations. Would you like to join us?" Henry looks thoroughly delighted at the suggestion, his face lighting up with enthusiasm. "A train ride vacation?" he repeats, his tone filled with excitement. "That sounds like a wonderful idea. Spending quality time with our families together on a train ride vacation sounds like a great way to bond and create wonderful memories. I'm in. I can't wait to join you all on this adventure." I smile, pleased that Henry is so enthusiastic about the idea of the vacation. I continue by filling him in on the details, mentioning that I had intended to invite Charlie as well. "Charlie's presence will make the vacation even more special," I say, my voice warm with excitement. Along with Charlie, I also invited Nora and Gregory. The more, the merrier, right? I believe this vacation will be an unforgettable experience for our entire group. Henry nods eagerly in agreement, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. "Absolutely," he affirms. Including Charlie, Nora, and Gregory will only make our vacation together even more fantastic. I'm sure they'll all appreciate the invitation. It's great that we can all come together like this and form stronger bonds with each other as families. As Henry's voice conveys his happiness over the couples who will be joining our vacation, I can sense a shared sense of contentment between us. It's heartwarming to see that not only have friendship bonds formed among us adults over the years, but our children have also found love and companionship among each other. Knowing that their young romances are further strengthening our family's bond brings a sense of warmth and pleasure. I smile back at Henry, nodding in agreement. Indeed, it warms my heart to know that our children have found love and happiness with each other. I chuckle lightly, feeling a sense of warmth and contentment at Henry's words. It warms my heart to see our children so happy and in love, I reply. The fact that our families are intermingled through their relationships adds an extra layer of joy to our vacation plans. It's truly wonderful to witness the love and connection between them, and I believe this vacation will be a special opportunity for them to grow even closer as couples. As we reminisce on the blossoming romances between our children, Henry and I decide to find Charlie and extend the vacation invitation to her as well. With a shared sense of anticipation, we set off together, navigating through the surroundings in search of Charlie. We walk, our steps purposeful and filled with excitement, as we approach the place where we believe Charlie might be. I glance over at Henry, seeing the same enthusiasm mirrored in his eyes. We both know that this vacation will be an opportunity for all of us to strengthen our bonds of friendship and family. As we search for Charlie, we finally spot her in the indoor playground arcade area, engaging in an endearing game alongside the marionette. The cheerful ambience of the playground surrounds us. As we approach her, I smile at the sight of Charlie immersing herself in her playtime, her laughter filling the air. Seeing her joy reminds me of the pure innocence that we must strive to preserve. With a gentle approach, we announce our presence. Charlie, can we have a word with you for a moment? Charlie looks up from her game, her expression shifting into one of curiosity and anticipation. She glances at us, the laughter from her game still lingering on her lips. Sure, what's up? She replies, her voice filled with eagerness to hear what we have to say. Charlie's eyes sparkle with excitement as I reveal our plan to her. The anticipation in her voice is evident as she responds, "A family train trip? That sounds like a really exciting idea." She glances at her father Henry for his reaction, and we can both see the warm smile on his face as he nods in affirmation. Charlie turns back to me, her voice filled with enthusiasm. "Count us in. I think it'll be a fantastic opportunity for all of us to bond and make wonderful memories together." As I finish discussing vacation plans with Charlie and Henry, I take a moment to pull out my cell phone and dial my wife Clara's number. I bring the phone to my ear, the anticipation building as I wait for her to answer. After a few rings, Clara picks up and her warm, familiar voice filters through the line, "Hello, honey. How's your day going?" Clara's voice is warm and comforting as she answers the phone, and she sounds excited to hear my voice. I waste no time in getting to the point, my excitement palpable as I bring up our upcoming family trip. "Clara, dear, I have some news to share with you," I say, my voice filled with enthusiasm. "I've been planning a family vacation for us, a train ride trip. What do you think about that?" Clara's voice carries a note of surprise and happiness as she responds, "Really? A family vacation and a train ride trip too? That sounds absolutely wonderful." I can practically hear the excitement in her voice as she continues, "I think it's a brilliantly idea. We rarely get the opportunity to be together like this as a family, and spending time on a train ride vacation with just us sounds perfect." A smile spreads across my face as I hear Clara's enthusiastic response. "I'm so glad you think so, darling. I believe it'll be a great opportunity for us to spend quality time together and create new memories." I continue, my excitement building. I've already discussed it with Henry and Charlie, and they're excited about joining us too. They said they're in. With my excitement growing for our upcoming family vacation, I take a deep breath and head towards Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place, the restaurant owned by my son Michael. The thought of sharing the news with him brings a mixture of anticipation and joy to my heart. As I walk towards the restaurant, I imagine the excitement and enthusiasm that I will witness in his eyes as I share the news with him. As I approach the restaurant, the familiar sight of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place comes into view. The iconic logo and vibrant colors stand out brightly against the backdrop of the surroundings, and I can't help but feel a sense of nostalgia and joy wash over me. Taking a deep breath, I walk towards the entrance, my steps purposeful and filled with excitement. Once I reach the entrance, I push open the door and step inside the restaurant. With a determined stride, I approach the main dining area, my eyes scanning the room in search of my son, Michael. The sounds of laughter and merrymaking fill the air, and I can't help but feel a sense of warmth and familiarity as I navigate this place that houses so many memories. As I make my way through the restaurant, through the tables, I finally spot Michael, engaged in conversation with his employees. I approach my son, a smile tugging at the corners of my lips. "Michael," I call out, my voice filled with warmth and affection. "Can I have a word with you for a moment?" Michael turns to look at me, surprise and curiosity in his eyes. "Of course, Dad," he replies with a nod. He turns to his employees, excusing himself for a moment, and walks over to me. "What's up?" he asks, his expression filled with curiosity. I take a moment to gather my thoughts, excitement bubbling within me. "I have some news," I begin, my voice filled with anticipation. "I've been planning a family vacation, a train ride trip. I've already asked Clara, and she's on board. Henry and Charlie are also joining us. What do you think about joining us too?" Michael's eyes widen in surprise and excitement, a smile spreading across his face. "A family vacation?" he repeats, mulling over the idea. "That sounds like it would be a lot of fun." He pauses for a moment, his smile growing broader. "I'd love to come along. It'll be a chance for all of us to bond and make wonderful memories together." As I share the news about the family vacation, Michael's excitement and positive response bring a smile to my face. As I finish speaking, he approaches me and envelops me in a warm, affectionate hug. The embrace conveys his eagerness to join us on this adventure and a deep sense of familial affection. I return the hug, my heart swelling with contentment and love for my family. With a sense of anticipation, I head towards the Mega Pizzaplex, the massive entertainment complex that houses so many memories, and where my daughter Elizabeth and son Chris are spending time with their friends, Gregory and the Glamrocks. As I approach the entrance, the towering structure and the vibrant colors of the Pizzaplex come into view. As I enter the Mega Pizzaplex, the sound of music and laughter fills the air. I follow the noise until I find Elizabeth, Chris, Gregory, and the Glamrocks gathered around a table, laughing and chatting amongst themselves. I approach the group, a smile spreading across my face as I see them having such a good time. I clear my throat to get their attention, my voice filled with excitement. "Elizabeth, Chris, Gregory, and Glamrocks, can I have a word with you all for a moment?" The group turns to look at me, their faces lighting up with surprise and curiosity. "Sure, what's up, Dad?" Chris responds, his voice filled with eagerness to hear what I have to share. The Glamrocks also turn their attention to me, their animatronic faceplates tilting curiously. I take a deep breath, the anticipation building within me. "I have some news to announce," I begin, my voice filled with excitement. "I've been planning a family vacation, a train ride trip. Clara, Henry, Charlie, and Michael have already agreed to join me on this adventure. I would love it if you all could join us as well." I pause, my gaze drifting over each one of them, waiting for their reactions. The faces of Elizabeth, Chris, Gregory, and the Glamrocks light up with a mixture of surprise and excitement. Gregory and the Glamrocks exchange glances, their eyes gleaming with anticipation. Elizabeth smiles widely, her voice filled with enthusiasm. "A family vacation," she repeats, her voice filled with happiness. "That sounds like a lot of fun. I'd love to join you all on this trip." The Glamrocks also chime in, their voices filled with excitement. "Count us in too. We wouldn't want to miss this." A wave of excitement washes over me as I hear their enthusiastic responses. "I'm so glad to hear that you're all on board. This vacation is going to be an unforgettable experience for all of us. It's a chance for us to bond as a family and create wonderful memories together." I turn to the Glamrocks, smiling gratefully. "And with the Glamrocks joining us too, the fun is going to be taken to a whole new level." With a sense of contentment and excitement, I head back to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the familiar sights and sounds of the restaurant bringing a sense of nostalgia and fondness. I make my way to my office, determined to tackle the remaining paperwork before the vacation. Once the last of the paperwork is sorted and filed away, I take a moment to organize my office, ensuring that everything is in its proper place. As I complete this task, a sense of satisfaction washes over me. With a final glance around the office, I switch off the lights, plunging the room into a comfortable darkness, signaling that I have finished my work for the day. I take a moment to walk around the now empty restaurant, ensuring that all the customers have left and that all the employees have clocked out for the day. As I move through the restaurant, the silence and emptiness that now pervade the space bring a sense of satisfaction. Once I'm satisfied that the restaurant is secure, I head to the main entrance, locking the door behind me. The sound of the lock sliding into place is a soothing end to the bustling day. With the restaurant now closed and secure, I make my way out of the building and head towards my car. The air outside is crisp and cool, a refreshing change from the warmth and clamor of the day inside. As I reach my car, I unlock the doors and slide into the driver's seat, feeling a subtle sense of relief wash over me. With a gentle start of the engine, I begin the drive home, the city skyline and streetlights passing by in a blur as I look forward to spending time with my family. After a pleasant drive through the city, I arrive home, parking my car in the driveway. The familiar sight of my house greets me, the warm lights from the windows casting a welcoming glow in the evening air. A sense of contentment washes over me as I gather my belongings from the car and head towards the front door, eager to tell my family about the upcoming trip. As I enter the house, the welcoming smell of dinner envelops me, the tantalizing aroma immediately making my mouth water. I call out cheerfully, "I'm home!" My voice carries a note of contentment and warmth, and I hang up my jacket and place my belongings on the nearby table. I head towards the kitchen, eager to see my family and share the news about our upcoming trip. As I enter the dining room, a warm smile spreads across my face. I see Clara, Elizabeth, Michael, and Chris seated and waiting for me, the delicious aroma of dinner wafting through the room. They greet me with warm smiles and cheerful hellos, their eyes filled with anticipation. I take my seat at the table, feeling a sense of contentment wash over me. I look around at my family, taking in their faces and the love that surrounds us. "Dinner looks and smells wonderful," I say with appreciation. As I sit down to enjoy dinner with my family, their chatter and laughter fill the air, the mood vibrant and warm. Clara, Chris, Michael, and Elizabeth discuss the upcoming family trip with excitement, their voices filled with enthusiasm. They talk about the train ride, what they're looking forward to most, and the memories they hope to make together. I smile and join in on the conversation, adding my own thoughts and ideas while reveling in the joy and anticipation that surrounds us. After dinner, the family excitedly prepares for the upcoming trip, each of us heading upstairs to begin packing our bags. Clara and I start by gathering essential items such as clothes, toiletries, and any other necessities we may need on the train ride. Meanwhile, Michael, Elizabeth, and Chris begin packing their own belongings, their excitement palpable as they talk amongst themselves and eagerly discuss the adventure that awaits. The sounds of laughter, zipping luggage, and enthusiastic chatter fill the air, creating an ambience of excitement and anticipation. Once upstairs, I take a moment to freshen up and take a shower. The warm water cascading over me provides a soothing and relaxing experience, washing away any lingering stress from the day. After my shower, I change into comfortable pajamas, feeling refreshed and rested. Clara then takes her turn in the bathroom and showers, her laughter and singing echoing from behind the door. Once she's finished, she emerges with a smile, dressed in her comfortable clothes, the excitement for the trip radiating from her. After a quick but enjoyable evening of packing, Clara and I retire to our bedroom. We discuss the day and our trip with excitement, but we recognize the need for rest as well. Knowing that we have to be up early tomorrow, we say our good nights and settle into bed. The excitement for the trip lingers in the air, but we both close our eyes, eager to get a good night's sleep and be well rested for the adventures that lie ahead. As the early morning hours approach, I wake up in the midst of the still dark night. Glancing at the clock, I see that it's 4:30 a.m. and time to begin preparing for the trip. With a mix of excitement and anticipation coursing through me, I slowly sit up in bed and take a deep breath to gather my thoughts. Despite the early hour, I cannot help but feel energized at the thought of the adventure that awaits us. I gently nudge Clara, who lies next to me in bed. "Good morning, my love," I whisper softly, my voice filled with affection. "It's time to wake up for our family trip." Clara stirs in her sleep, slowly opening her eyes and rubbing the sleep from her face. As she takes in the sight of me awake beside her, a soft smile spreads across her lips. "Good morning," she replies, her voice still groggy with sleep. "Is it really time already?" I nod, my excitement evident in my expression. "Yes, it's time to get going." I lean in and give Clara a tender kiss on the cheek. "We need to make sure everything is packed and ready, and we don't want to be late." Clara nods, her expression shifting from grogginess to excitement as the reality of our trip sinks in. "You're right," she says with a smile. "Let's get dressed and make sure we have everything we need." With a renewed sense of anticipation, Clara quickly gets out of bed and heads to the bathroom to freshen up. I take a moment to stretch and collect my thoughts before getting up and preparing for the day. As I hear the sound of the shower running, I begin to get dressed, choosing comfortable clothes for the trip. After a few minutes, Clara emerges from the bathroom, a smile on her face and her hair freshly combed. "I'm ready," she says, walking over to me. "How about you?" "I'm just about done," I reply, smoothing out my shirt. "Is everything packed? Did you remember to charge your phone?" Clara nods. "Yes, everything's packed," she reassures me. "Phones are charged and all essentials are in the bags." I give her a smile. "Perfect. Let's head downstairs and see if the kids are ready." Leaving Clara to finish getting ready, I head to the kids' rooms to wake them up. First, I knock on Chris's bedroom door. "Chris, it's time to wake up," I call out softly, my voice gentle but firm. "We have an exciting day ahead." A moment later, Chris's sleepy voice comes from inside. "I'm up, Dad," he mutters groggily. I smile and leave him to get ready. I proceed to wake up Elizabeth and Michael. I head over to Elizabeth's room and gently knock on the door. "Elizabeth, sweetheart, it's time to wake up," I call out softly. "We have a big day ahead." After a few moments, her sleepy voice can be heard from within. "I'm up, Dad," she replies, her voice filled with a mix of excitement and tiredness. I smile a little and move on to wake up Michael. I approach Michael's room and knock gently on his door. "Michael, it's time to get up," I say, my voice a mix of excitement and authority. There's a pause before his gruff, sleepy voice replies. "I know, Dad," he grunts, sounding like he's barely awake. I can't help but chuckle at his response. "All right, get ready as quickly as you can," I instruct him, knowing that he has a tendency to be a little slower in the mornings. After waking up the kids and instructing them to get ready, I head back downstairs to the kitchen. I pour myself a cup of freshly brewed coffee from the machine on the countertop and take a sip, relishing the warmth and flavor as it spreads through my body. The caffeine immediately starts to awaken my senses, providing me with an extra boost of energy for the day ahead. As I sip my coffee, I can't help but think about the amusing memes that people have made about me and my supposed obsession with toast. I chuckle quietly to myself, amused at the idea that some people find it funny to poke fun at my taste in food. Of course, I enjoy a good slice of toast, but it's not something I would consider myself obsessed with. Perhaps it's just a humorous exaggeration that has somehow become a running joke online. As I enjoy my coffee and contemplate the peculiar nature of internet humor, Clara, Chris, Michael, and Elizabeth make their way downstairs with their luggage. They all look a little sleepy, but there's a hint of excitement in their eyes, like they can't wait to begin this family trip. Clara walks over to me and plants a gentle kiss on my cheek as she passes by, and the kids greet me with a mix of sleepy smiles and quiet hellos. As the family gathers in the living room, I take out my phone and dial Henry's number. The phone rings a few times before he picks up. "Henry speaking," he answers, his voice filled with his usual cheerful demeanor. "Hey, Henry," I say into the phone, a smile spreading across my face. "I wanted to let you know that we're heading to the train station. Can you pick up Gregory and the Glamrocks and meet us there?" "Sure thing, Will," Henry replies with excitement. "We'll be there as soon as we can." We exchange a few more pleasantries before hanging up the phone. I turn to my family, a sense of excitement brewing within me. "Henry and the Glamrocks are coming too," I announce, and the kids' faces light up at the news. "Oh, and Michael," I add, remembering something important. Don't forget to call Nora and let her know we're all headed to the train station. I'm sure she'll be excited to join us for this family trip. Michael nods and pulls out his phone to make the call. As he dials Nora's number, I can see the eagerness on his face, clearly excited to have his girlfriend join us on this adventure. "Hey Nora," he says into the phone, his voice filled with warmth and enthusiasm. "Yeah, we're all heading to the train station. My dad's taking us on a family trip. You should totally come with us. It would be great to have you there." He listens for a moment before his face lights up with a smile. "Perfect, we'll see you there." As he ends the call, Michael turns to us with excitement. "She's going to meet us at the station." I smile and nod approvingly. "That's fantastic," I say, genuinely pleased. "The more the merrier, right?" The kids agree with nods and smiles, clearly excited at the prospect of having their significant others join us for this family adventure. With everyone ready to go, we head out of the house and make our way to the car. The morning sky is just beginning to brighten, and a cool breeze brushes against our faces as we step outside. I open the trunk of the car, and we carefully place our luggage inside, making sure everything fits snugly. The kids help by carrying their own backpacks and personal items, and soon enough, the car is packed and ready for the journey ahead. We all climb inside the car and settle into our seats. Clara sits in the passenger seat beside me, and the kids spread out in the back, chatting amongst themselves and eagerly anticipating the trip ahead. I glance back to make sure everyone is strapped in and comfortable, and then I start the car. With the engine rumbling to life, I turn on the headlights and pull out of the driveway. As we drive away from our home, a sense of excitement and anticipation fills the air. The adventure is about to begin. We drive for a little while, the city streets still quiet in the early morning hours. After navigating through the empty roads, we finally reach the train station. It's one of the largest ones in town, with a towering structure and a long platform that stretches into the distance. It's a beautiful sight, especially at this hour when the sky is just beginning to turn a softer shade of grey, hinting at the dawn's approach. As we park the car and step out, a gust of cold air greets us, bracing us for the adventure ahead. With the car parked, we all gather around the trunk and start unloading our luggage. The kids eagerly grab their own bags and personal items, while I help Clara and take out the larger suitcases. The early morning air is crisp and bracing, filling our lungs with a fresh energy that adds to the excitement of the trip. As we head towards the train station, our bags in hand, we can feel a sense of anticipation building, as if this moment is the start of something truly special. As we enter the train station, we're immediately greeted by the sight of Henry, Charlie, Gregory, Nora, the Glamrocks, and other familiar faces waiting for us. A chorus of hellos and excited voices greets us, and the atmosphere is filled with the energy of our friends and family coming together for this adventure. Seeing them all there, smiling and waiting for us, adds a sense of warmth and familiarity to the start of our journey. We join the group and approach the ticket counter. The ticket vendor greets us with a smile and helps us with our fare. Despite the early hour, the station is surprisingly busy, people making their way to their respective trains and destinations. The sound of laughter, chatter, and the occasional announcement from the overhead speakers fills the air, creating a vibrant atmosphere. Once we have our tickets in hand, we make our way to the platform, luggage in tow, and anticipation buzzing in the air. After obtaining our tickets, we head over up at the train schedule board. The display shows the various trains arriving and departing, each with different destinations and times. We scan the list, finding the train that will take us on our family trip. Seeing it listed on the board adds a sense of excitement and anticipation, knowing that the adventure is officially scheduled to begin soon. As we continue to look at the schedule board, a particular train catches my eye. It's labeled Express, and its destination reads, Around the World. I can't help but raise an eyebrow, wondering why such a train would even exist. The concept of an express train that travels the world seems somewhat fantastical, and the idea both intrigues and confuses me. Is it some sort of marketing ploy, or a hidden gem of public transportation? Intrigued by the allure of the unknown and the excitement of an adventure, I decide to take a leap of faith and propose the idea to the family. "Hey guys," I say, addressing the group with a smile. What do you think about catching the express train instead? It's labeled as around the world, so it should be quite an experience, right? I can see the spark of curiosity and excitement in their eyes as they consider the prospect of taking this unusual train for our family trip. Imagine the places we could see and the adventures we could have. I continue, my enthusiasm contagious. It might not be what we initially had in mind, but it could turn out to be the trip of a lifetime. The kids exchange glances, their eyes wide with possibility and desire for something different. Clara looks at me, a hint of excitement in her expression as well. Are you sure it's a real train, Will? She asks, a mix of skepticism and curiosity in her voice. I chuckle and nod. I don't know for sure, but the schedule board seems to think it's real, I reply. And even if it's some kind of marketing gimmick, it could still make for a memorable experience. Besides, life's all about taking risks and trying new things, right? Clara smiles, her doubts giving way to a sense of adventure. Well then, why not? She says. Let's go for it. The kids, caught up in the excitement, add their agreements as well. I can see the anticipation and eagerness in their faces, and the initial doubt has turned into an eagerness to embrace the unknown. With our decision made, we make our way to Platform 3, where the express train departing for around the world is scheduled to arrive. Henry, Charlie, Nora, Gregory, and the Glamrock animatronics join us, their bags in hand and their enthusiasm palpable. We find a spot on the platform, surrounded by bustling travelers and families, and wait for the mysterious train to arrive. As we wait for the mysterious express train, the conversation among our group is filled with excited chatter and light-hearted banter. Clara talks to Henry about the upcoming trip, and the kids chat with each other and the Glamrocks, sharing stories and memories from previous adventures. The energy on the platform is contagious, and the excitement builds as the minutes tick by, bringing us closer to the moment when the train will arrive. At 5:20 a.m., the distinct sound of a whistle echoes through the train station, cutting through the chatter and noise. It's a deep, powerful sound that resonates in the air, signaling the imminent arrival of the mysterious express train. We all turn our attention to the tracks, anticipation and curiosity in our eyes, wondering what this train will be like and where it will take us. As the train finally arrives on the platform, our jaws drop in amazement. The entire train, from the steam locomotive to the tender and passenger cars, is gleaming a brilliant gold color. It's a sight to behold, unlike anything we've ever seen before. The gold paint shimmers under the early morning sunlight, casting a metallic glow that's both striking and mesmerizing. We exchange surprised glances, each of us taken aback by the sheer spectacle of the golden train before us. As we take in the sight of the golden train, I can't help but notice a familiar resemblance to the Polar Express. It's shaped almost exactly like the iconic train from the beloved movie, and I find myself feeling grateful for that, knowing how much Chris, Gregory, Michael, and Elizabeth adore it. They've always been captivated by the magic of the Polar Express during Christmas time, and now, here we are, about to embark on our own adventure aboard a train that closely resembles their favorite film. The more we look at the golden train, the more we notice the striking similarities to the Polar Express. Not only is the overall shape and design reminiscent of the iconic train, but even the individual passenger cars resemble those from the movie. The curved, rounded windows and doors are all there, albeit bathed in a gleaming gold hue instead of blue. It's as if someone took the Polar Express and gave it a golden makeover, making it even more enchanting and magical. Chris, Elizabeth, and Gregory are absolutely thrilled as they spot the golden train. Their eyes widen with excitement, and they start cheering and excitedly pointing at the train. It's clear that they instantly recognize the Polar Express-like design, and it sparks a sense of joy and nostalgia within them. Look, Dad, it's like the Polar Express, Chris exclaims, his voice filled with enthusiasm. I smile, seeing the sparkle in their eyes. You're right, buddy. It's just like the Polar Express. Suddenly, the engineer of the train peers out the window of the locomotive's cab, noticing the excitement and joy on the faces of Chris, Elizabeth, and the others. A warm smile spreads across his face, clearly pleased that the children appreciated the train's unique design. Well, I see you all are enjoying the sight of this golden beauty, he calls out cheerfully, his voice carrying a hint of pride. Chris, filled with excitement, turns to the engineer and boldly asks, "Can you blow the whistle, please?" The engineer smiles once again, clearly enjoying the enthusiasm of the children. "Of course, young adventurer," he replies, before leaning out the window and giving a strong, mighty blow on the whistle. The piercing sound echoes through the station, drawing the attention of other passengers and causing a momentary pause in conversations. Chris, Gregory, Elizabeth and Michael clench their small fists in exhilaration and clap their hands together in pure joy and wonder. Their eyes sparkle with excitement as they turn to each other, sharing ecstatic grins. They can't contain their enthusiasm any longer, their laughter filling the air. This is truly a moment they'll never forget. The sound of the train's whistle, their own applause echoing through the station, and the sheer magic of this golden train that resembles the Polar Express. With our hearts filled with excitement, we make our way towards the train's entrance, our feet moving with anticipation. As we approach, we notice the elegant golden doors that lead to the cabins. One by one, we step onto the gold-plated steps, and our feet meet the plush, golden interior of the train. The cabin is as resplendent as the exterior, with golden seats, accents, and decorations. It's as if a part of the Polar Express has come to life, and we are all aboard this golden express, ready for our around-the-world adventure. Henry, Charlie, Gregory, Nora, and the Glamrocks take seats nearby, smiling and exchanging enthusiastic looks. As we settle into our seats, everyone finds their place. Elizabeth and Gregory huddle together near Glamrock Freddy, their excitement palpable. Michael takes a seat beside his girlfriend Nora, their love for each other evident in the way they glance at each other. Chris and Charlie opt for the empty seats in front of us, right across the aisle from where Henry is sitting, along with the Glamrocks dispersed randomly throughout the car. Our motley crew of friends and loved ones are all gathered together, eagerly anticipating the adventure that awaits us. I look at Clara, her eyes gleaming with excitement and a wide smile on her face. We exchange a loving glance, sharing in the joy of this unexpected and exciting vacation opportunity. I reach out and gently pull her towards me, wrapping my arms around her slender figure. She leans into the hug, her head resting against my chest. For a moment, we just hold each other tightly, savoring the warmth and comfort that only comes from being in each other's arms. It's a simple gesture, but it speaks volumes of our love and commitment to each other. As if on cue, the train's whistle echoes through the station at 5:30 a.m., signaling our impending departure. The sound, loud and clear, serves as a call to adventure, beckoning us to begin our journey. We all straighten up in our seats, our hearts racing with anticipation as we prepare for the train to start moving. Excitement hangs thick in the air as we brace ourselves for what promises to be an unforgettable trip. The train's bell starts ringing in a rhythmic pattern, its chimes echoing through the air. The sound adds to the sense of anticipation and excitement as the train begins to move forward, slowly at first, but gradually picking up speed. The wheels of the locomotive turn, the rails clattering underneath us, and the world outside the windows begin to blur as we start our journey. The adrenaline is pumping, and we all lean back, ready to embrace whatever lies ahead. The train gathers momentum as it glides past the track signal, leaving the station behind. The landscape outside the windows becomes a blur, trees and buildings blending into streaks of green and beige. The clickety-clack of the train wheels against the tracks creates a comforting rhythm, lulling us into a state of tranquility as we watch the scenery pass by. The excitement of the journey is still palpable, but the rhythmic motion of the train provides a soothing backdrop, making us feel relaxed and eager for what the adventure has in store. The train continues its journey, maintaining a steady speed of 50 miles per hour. The landscape outside the windows changes from urban to rural, with rolling hills and endless fields of green replacing the hustle and bustle of the city. The rhythmic sound of the wheels fills the air, and the once excited atmosphere has settled into a sense of peaceful contentment. Occasionally we pass by small train stations or quaint towns, but mostly it's just open fields and the occasional farmstead. The tranquility of the scenery and the steady pace of the train lull us into a comfortable state of relaxation. As the train moves onward, we find ourselves passing through a typical small town. The buildings, painted in pastel hues and adorned with quaint decorations, reflect the wholesome charm of the town. We pass by houses with white picket fences, children playing in yards, and local stores bustling with activity. There's a sense of nostalgia in the air, reminiscent of a simpler time and place. The town's residents wave and greet each other, their small town warmth and friendliness adding to the picturesque atmosphere. As the train glides past the circus tent, it sparks immediate interest in me. It's an unexpected sight amid the rural landscape, piquing my curiosity. The vibrant colors and towering edifice of the circus tent stand out against the backdrop of fields and trees. I wonder about the significance of its presence here, and my mind immediately begins to wander, imagining what could possibly be housed inside. The sudden appearance of the circus tent adds a touch of whimsy and intrigue to our journey, leaving me eager to unravel the mystery that lies within. My eyes widen with recognition when I catch a glimpse of the poster. The name Fredbear's Singing Show instantly brings back fond memories of my childhood. Fredbear's was one of my all-time favorite shows, and it had a profound impact on me growing up. The animatronic bears with their captivating melodies and the magic of the circus tent brought joy and wonder to my young heart. It all comes rushing back in an instant, and I cannot help but feel a surge of nostalgia. I can still remember dreaming about creating a place like Fredbear's one day, which ultimately led me to open Fredbear's Family Diner. The sight of the Fredbear's Singing Show brings a nostalgic warmth to my heart. Memories of my childhood flood back, and I can't help but feel a spark of joy. I recall my first experience watching the circus performance, the thrill of seeing the animatronics and the sheer wonder I felt. I can still recall vividly the applause and laughter that filled the air, the sheer joy and magic of the moment. The sight of the circus tent makes me hope that I can visit the show after our family trip, reliving those precious memories and experiencing the magic all over again. As the train continues its journey, we find ourselves passing through several residential neighborhoods. Neatly manicured lawns, picket fences, and cozy houses line the streets. Children play in yards, their laughter and carefree antics adding splashes of joy and color to the scene. The homes resemble a blend of traditional and modern architecture, each with its distinct character and charm. The neighborhoods exude a sense of contentment and community, creating a picturesque tableau of suburban life. The train carries us through this mosaic of homes, each neighborhood leaving its unique imprint on the landscape. As we continue our journey, the train gracefully navigates through patches of light forests. The landscape softens, the trees casting dappled shadows on the track. The sunlight filters through the foliage, creating an ever-changing pattern of light and dark on the carriage windows. Tall pine and oak trees surround the tracks, their majestic presence adding a touch of natural beauty to the scenery. We observe the occasional squirrel or bunny dart across the rails, seemingly unafraid of the approaching train. The serene atmosphere of the forest provides us with a tranquil moment to appreciate nature's splendor. As we continue our journey, we suddenly find ourselves crossing the border into Nevada. The landscape outside the window begins to change subtly, with the rugged mountains and dry terrain becoming more prevalent. The desert-like environment is a stark contrast to the lush greenery of our previous surroundings. The train passes by cactus plants, stretching their arms towards the sky, and the occasional tumbleweed rolling across the tracks. We marvel at the unique beauty of the Nevada landscape, mesmerized by the blend of desolation and serenity that it offers. The train's whistle echoes through the air once more, its loud and clear sound signaling our continued journey. The two children, Chris and Gregory, react with sheer joy and excitement. Their faces light up, their eyes sparkle with anticipation. They happily clap their hands together and let out cheerful laughter, their excitement contagious. It's a heartwarming sight to see them revel in the joy of the journey. The train's whistle, like a herald, marks this moment with a sense of adventure and wonder, captivating not only the hearts of the children, but all of us aboard. The sound of the train's whistle brings a smile to Clara's and my lips as we watch Chris and his friend Gregory, blissfully clapping and giggling like carefree little boys. Their happiness is contagious, and witnessing their joy fills our hearts with warmth. We exchange a few glances, silently appreciating the purity and innocence of their reaction. It's a beautiful sight to behold, and it reminds us that at times, the simplest things can bring the most profound happiness. As the train travels through Nevada, the landscape transforms from rugged mountains to sprawling deserts and sparse settlements. Patches of barren land stretch as far as the eye can see, punctuated by the stark, desolate beauty of the desert. The train clicks and clacks along the tracks, its steady rhythm serving as a lulling soundtrack to the arid surroundings. The sun casts its golden glow over everything, creating a mirage-like effect on the distance. The journey continues in the heart of Nevada, surrounded by the unique landscapes that define this dry and majestic state. As the train advances, the scenery gradually changes. We find ourselves passing by wide-open spaces filled with vast fields and sprawling farms. Row after row of crops stretches out, their lush greenery contrasting sharply with the surrounding desert terrain. Occasionally, we catch sight of farmers working diligently in the fields, tending to their land and crops. The sound of the train creates a soothing lull, harmonizing with the gentle rhythm of the agricultural landscape. It's a sight that speaks of the endless toil and resilience of the farmers, working hand in hand with nature to nourish the land and provide sustenance for all. As the train continues its journey, it crosses over several rivulets, their shimmering waters carving their way through the dry land. The sight of the flowing water is both serene and refreshing, a testament to the tenacity of life in the midst of the arid surroundings. The train passes through vast canyons, their towering walls and rugged cliffs creating an awe-inspiring spectacle. The cliffs are a mesmerizing mixture of reds, oranges, and browns, the sun's rays dancing upon their rocky surfaces. We are transported into a realm of geological wonder, witnessing firsthand the grandeur of nature's sculptural artistry. As the clock strikes 6:45 a.m., the locomotive crosses over into California. The train passes through the border, and the landscape outside the windows takes on a new character. Gently rolling hills replace the harsh desert, making way for picturesque landscapes dotted with farms and rural settlements. The air feels milder, and the sky seems bigger. The train chugs along, its course winding through the lush and verdant scenery of California, bringing us closer to our destination. The train moves ahead, passing by towns and villages, each with their unique character and charm. The rhythmic clicking of the train wheels on the tracks adds a soothing background melody to the journey. We navigate through railroad crossings with perfect precision, the train bells chiming melodiously as we traverse the rails. The changing landscape outside the windows offers a visual treat, ranging from picturesque towns to expansive farmlands, creating a collage of scenery that speaks of California's diverse beauty. As the train meanders into California City, the cityscape takes shape. The train glides into the outskirts of the city, buildings and structures gradually becoming more prominent. The city looks lively and vibrant, with a mix of modern architecture and historic charm. The train moves through the city, and we glimpse a blend of residential areas, commercial spaces, and public spaces. The cityscape reflects the unique character of California, combining the energy of urban life with the laid-back vibe of the state. As we continue our journey on the train, an unexpected event occurs. The train starts shuddering, making its movement feel unstable and bumpy. It's a concerning development, and we wonder what could be causing the train to behave in such an unusual manner. The sudden jolt interrupts the otherwise smooth ride, leaving us with a sense of unease and curiosity about what lies ahead. The train's shuddering serves as a reminder that our trip may not be as straightforward as we had assumed. The train, in an unexpected turn of events, lurches off the tracks and descends onto the city street. Instead of continuing on the rails, it begins to move along the road like a giant, elongated vehicle. The sight is surreal, as we had never expected a train to transform into a road-going contraption. The change in the train's mode of transportation is both surprising and unusual, adding an extra element of excitement to our journey.